Success doesn't like applause. It grows in the dark, away from the crowd. You don't see the roots stretching. You only see the tree. But most of us feel this strange urge to share every plan, every goal, every dream. Why is that? Could it be we're addicted to the nod, the good for you, the tiny hit of approval? Here's the trap. The moment you speak your ambition, you leak its energy. You get a reward for doing the work, and your brain starts thinking you've already arrived. I've watched this happen hundreds of times. Smart people, big ideas. They tell everyone at dinner, at work, online, and then nothing. Ever notice how talking about a diet makes you less likely to start it? That's the paradox. Sharing too early steals your momentum. Your dream gets exposed to doubt, to well-meaning but what-ifs, to cold winds of other people's fears. So today, we're going to explore a different way. Not secrecy for its own sake, wisdom, strategy. We'll talk about why action destroys talk, why focus beats fanfare, and why results are the only announcement that matters. Because in the end, nobody cares what you said you do. They care what you've done. Let's start with something subtle, the relationship between intention and action. Every time you share a goal, you release a little bit of the fuel you need to achieve it. Words leak the fire that action needs to burn. You see, telling people creates an illusion. You say, "I'm starting a business." They smile. You feel good. But you haven't filed a single form. You haven't made a single sale. That good feeling, it kills urgency. And urgency is everything. Now, some will argue, doesn't sharing keep you accountable? Yes, but only with the right people at the right time. Most people won't understand your vision. They'll question you, not out of malice, but out of their own limits. Have you ever shared an idea and instantly regretted it? Their skepticism hangs in the air like fog, and if you breathe it in, you start doubting yourself. I'm not saying never speak. I'm saying speak selectively. Protect your vision like a young seedling. Share with mentors, with proven allies, but keep the details few. Don't turn your dream into a sideshow before it's ready. There's also power in surprise. Imagine you've worked quietly for months, no posts, no teasers. Then you reveal something finished, fully formed. The impact is 10 times greater than if you'd given weekly updates. Action is always more impressive than words. Years ago, I knew a young man with a business idea. He talked non-stop. At every gathering, he'd announce his plans. People listened politely at first, then they grew skeptical. Months passed, nothing happened. Eventually, he stopped believing in himself. Compare that to a farmer I knew. He had a vision to transform his small family land, but instead of talking, he worked, read, experimented, quietly. When harvest came, his yield shocked everyone. They asked how. He said, "I worked while no one watched." That's the lesson. Less talk equals more time to act. Less seeking validation equals more self-confidence. Less premature sharing equals more control over your own story. Your results are the only megaphone you'll ever need. How many times have you felt motivation slip right after telling someone your plan? That's not coincidence. That's psychology. The world is full of noise, opinions, distractions, unsolicited advice. When you share your dreams too freely, you invite all that noise in. Criticism, doubt, even envy. These forces can derail the best laid plans. Think about it. When you tell someone your big idea, how often do they respond with pure, enthusiastic support? Sometimes yes, but often you get, "Are you sure? That sounds risky. I knew someone who failed at that." Those comments plant seeds of doubt, and doubt grows fast. It chokes ambition. Then there are the envious ones, people who resent your drive because it highlights their own inaction. They won't say it, but their subtle negativity drains you. And the well-meaning advisors, they confuse you with conflicting opinions.
All of this pulls you away from your original vision. That's why discretion is powerful. When you keep quiet, you build a greenhouse for your dreams, protected, warm, free from frost. Let's talk about momentum. It's the forward motion from consistent action, and momentum thrives in silence. Each small step reinforces the next, but when you talk too much, you shift from doing to explaining. Every moment spent justifying is a moment not moving forward, like driving with the parking brake on. Here's a story. A friend wanted to write a book, lifelong dream. Instead of announcing it, he set a quiet goal, 500 words a day. Told no one, just worked. Months later, he shared the manuscript with a small circle. Their reaction was pure admiration, not because the book was good, but because he did it without seeking applause. Another friend talked about his book for 2 years. Outlines, updates, opinions. He wrote almost nothing. The project died. Which one do you resemble? Action breeds confidence. Talk breeds hesitation. When you act, even in small doses, you prove to yourself you're capable. You build a track record. Talking keeps you stuck in what if forever. Some worry that silence seems secretive or aloof, but discretion isn't about shutting people out. It's about preserving focus. You don't invite the whole neighborhood to walk on your seedbed. You protect the ground, you water it, you wait for shoots, then you share the harvest. Same with goals. By keeping them private, you're being strategic. You give yourself space to grow, learn, adapt without external pressure. And when you finally share success, it's backed by real results. So here's a challenge. Next time you set a goal, resist the urge to renounce it. Instead, write it down, make a plan, take the first step, quietly, deliberately. Remember, the goal isn't to impress others with your intentions, it's to impress yourself with your accomplishments. There's something liberating about moving in silence. It frees you from the weight of other people's expectations. No spotlight, no judgment. Success is rarely a straight line. It's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. When you're under public view, every setback feels magnified. But when your plans are private, you can fail quietly, learn without shame, adjust without commentary. That's not hiding, that's being kind to your future self. I know what you're thinking. Isn't feedback important? Yes, but at the right time from the right people. Early on, focus on the work. Once you've built something tangible, then invite trusted voices. I once worked with a brilliant opportunity spotter. He had one flaw. He couldn't stop talking. Every new idea he'd share with anyone. Often someone else acted on it first. He gave away his advantage. Another businessman I knew was the opposite. Quiet, unassuming, rarely talked about current projects. While others talked, he built. When he unveiled his work, it was always polished, complete, impressive. Results spoke louder than words ever could. Which brings us to another principle. Results are your best advertisement. When you achieve something significant, people notice without you saying a word. Your success creates ripples, waves that reach far. But there's another reason to keep quiet. Focus. When you share plans, people ask questions, offer suggestions, share their own ideas. Suddenly, you're pulled in 12 directions. Your clear vision gets muddled. Focus is precious. It lets you channel energy to a single point. The fewer voices in your ear, the easier to stay on track. What would your life look like if you applied this? Imagine starting a new project, business, art, fitness, and telling no one, working steadily without seeking validation. What could you accomplish in that silence? How much further could you go without outside weight? That's the essence. Freedom to work on your own terms. Power to let action speak louder than words. Wisdom to protect dreams until they're ready. It's not about secrecy, it's about intentionality. Your energy, focus, and momentum are too valuable for idle chatter. When the time comes to reveal your work, your success will carry a weight that words alone never could. you'll have the satisfaction of knowing you didn't just talk, you made it real. So keeping plans private isn't withholding, it's understanding the value of your energy. It's protecting fragile beginnings, nurturing in silence until strong. Silence is not emptiness, it's the soil where results grow. When you choose to keep plans to yourself, you're making a statement, not to the world, but to you. You're saying, I trust myself to see this through. I don't need applause to start. I don't need permission to pursue my goals. That confidence is rare and powerful. It lets you act without fear, learn without judgment, grow at your own pace. And here's the beautiful part. When you succeed, you inspire others, not by what you said, but by what you did. Your actions become a beacon. You show them that real progress comes from focus, discipline,